Hello my fellow freedom builders and welcome back to the channel. It is yet again time for a video about some rock solid stocks that we will find on the US market, and I found 12 for you today. 12 good solid stocks that have come out of my stock screener, and I'll show you exactly how I have found them. First of all, I would like to welcome a new sponsor to the channel. It is NSB, a fantastic and solid broker you can use if you're trading Forex or commodities or cryptos. I'll tell you a lot about them later in the video. But first of all, welcome to the channel, to NSB. There's a link to them below. And as I said, I'll tell you more about them later. First of all, let's get to the stocks. Now, as you know, if you have followed me for a while, I have developed my very own stock screener here. It is available for the Danish subscribers on my Danish subscription service. And I can tell you that we are coming up with a new subscription service in English in a short while, sometimes this autumn here. But let's look at how I find these 12 candidates that we're going to have a look at today. First of all, we're looking at US stocks. You can see we have 529 right now in the system. We are planning on doubling that. But we want some good solid stocks, so we are looking at a Q score, a quality score at 6 or above. That is our very own measurement of some good quality stocks. You can see we are now down to 251 stocks, but we also want a good trend in the Q score. We want the Q score to be better and better and better. So we are saying, yes, we want it to be better than the Q score 1 month ago and 3 months ago. Let's just see if we can get them colored black here. Yes, you can see we are now down at 48 stocks. We also want some good strength in the trend. We want it to be stronger than the other stocks we're looking at. So let's have a relative strength of 60, meaning that over the last 1, 3 and 6 months, it has been doing better than 60% of the stocks we're looking at. We're down at 29 stocks now. We want the relative strength to be trending upwards. So we are down to 27. We even want the trend. As you know, I have this green, yellow, red trend. We want that to be green. So now we are down to 23 stocks. Still a bit too much for a video like this. So let's have a look at some of the fundamentals over here. Price to free cash flow. We want that to be green or light green, meaning that these stocks are doing better on the price to free cash flow than the other stocks in their industry groups. We can say the same for the EV to EBITDA. We can make that green or light green, meaning that these are the very strongest candidates. And as you can see, we now are down to 12 stocks here. And the system is so cleverly devised by my programmer that we can just take a ticker list and take it directly over into a trading view where we have a watch list here. If you don't know this, you can just create a new watch list. And when you have that, you can just push this little plus here and then copy paste all the stocks you want into this. Then you have the list here. So I'll have a look at that in a second. First of all, let's just have a quick look at the sponsor. The reason why I have said yes to be sponsored by NSB is that they are a very reliable broker. They have been here for more than 10 years. There are some things that are important when you're looking at these sort of brokers where you can trade Forex and you can trade crypto and you can trade commodities. One of them is that they are regulated in a lot of countries, in EU and so on. These NSB, they are that. Your funds should be secured. And one thing I am looking for is that it is what's called a pure ECN. That means electronic communication network. And that actually means that your trade, when you place it with the broker, is placed directly into the market, meaning that the broker cannot trade against you. Many of these brokers, normally they can actually trade against you so that they gain when you lose. When you're trading with an ECN broker, that is not possible. That is a big plus here. When we go down the list here, you can see that they should have a negative balance protection when you choose a broker. That means that if you have put $1,000 into the account, you cannot lose more than that. Even though you're using leverage, it is not possible to lose more than your $1,000, and that is how a broker should work. Now, when we're looking at the regulations, we can see that NSB is regulated by Malta, but also under the EU MiFID rules. They are regulated under the German rules, the French, the Italian, the Spanish, and even the Danish governmental regulations here. So this is a good and solid broker. They are regulated by all the big players and also connected to all the large liquidity providers. I'll say very many thank you to NSB for the sponsorship, and let's see if many of you could find it interesting to use NSB if you're trading these sorts of products. They even have some US stocks, not all of them, but they do have stocks in there. You can push the link below and read more about them. All right, let's get back to the video. We have the 12 stocks that we are gonna have a look at, and the first one is Nike. And I'm just going to have a quick look at them from a technical point of view. And as you can see here, they are in the green zone, so we are allowed to buy them. They're also bouncing on the 20 SMA here, which is what I like. We have the OBV, we have the OBV down here. The unbalanced volume is showing great strength, and so is the RSI. However, I might want to take a little pause on this and just wait until it gets down to this support area, but it is in a good trend right now, so Nike could be interesting. We have a Cadence Design System here. As you can see, they are also bouncing nicely on the 20 SMA here. They're doing that with great volume. However, this might not be my largest favorite because there is this potential top zone here, so I might just want to wait until they get up here, take a bounce, and then take it on that bounce. So not my largest favorite of these. Then we have the ADP, Automatic Data Processing. And as you can see, this is pretty much a straight line trend we have seen here lately. We can see that it is bouncing nicely on the 20 SMA. It is getting some good volume on the bounces. I do like to see these bounces with volume greater than the red line here. That is the 20 SMA on the volume. So the red line is the average volume over the last 20 days. And when I see a bounce from the 20 SMA, I would like to see a higher than normal volume. So this is just barely there, but it is there. So ADP could be a candidate for you. Then we have Dover Corporation, DOV. And as you can see, bouncing nicely. If we are drawing a regression trend line here or channel here, you can see it is very nicely put here. It is sticking within the channel most of the time. So right now it is bouncing a bit too high, maybe off the 20 SMA. There's a bit of room here. So again, you might want to let it rest a bit, or maybe go sideways until the 20 SMA catches up here. That is entirely up to you. Then we have Garmin, the GPS company here. Again, a very good trend in the green zone. All the indicators are saying go here. You might say that these couple of candles are not they are not my favorite candles. To buy a stock, I do like to see some decisive buy action. Let's say like this one, bouncing off the 20 SMA here with decent volume, and again one here bouncing away with decent volume. So I might want to see this just how it does in the next week or so, and then see if we can get a good bounce with good volume and a good green bar. But Garmin, definitely a good candidate. Then we have Stryker Corporation. Now this one has been a bit yellow and green, but the overall trend here is very nice, and you can see here in the regression channel, it looks good. It is not my favorite setup here. You can see the bounce here that should be off the 20 SMA. It actually went all the way through the 50 SMA. So this is not my favorite setup, but many of these candidates are also chosen to be a bit more long-term winners. I should say that I have made one or two videos about where I take an update on how my good rock solid stocks have been doing lately. So in the upcoming week, I'll probably make a video about the I think the 15 or 16 candidates I have had over the time, and we can see if they are truly long-term winners. Then we have H&R Block here, HRB. Again, a good uptrend here. We can see that it had a downtrend, started to make new higher bottoms here. And this is actually one of my favorite setups here, with a straight line here and a rising line here. And when it breaks up here, it usually takes off with some good speed here. What I don't like here, I know my screener have found this, but what I don't like here is we have the 20 SMA below the 50 SMA, and this is a bit messy. So HRB here is not my favorite out of these 12, definitely not. Then we have IPG, Interpublic Group. And again, we have a bit of a messy signal here. The screener is choosing this because it is a good fundamental stock and there is a good long-term trend, but I don't like these gaps. You can see here with the earnings, we are getting a huge gap. If this stock can get a bit of a retracement down here to the 20 SMA and shoot nicely up from that with some good volume, then IPG can definitely be a good candidate. Then we have Rockwell Automation. I've been talking about that one for a while now, also on my English Building Freedom Facebook site. And if we are taking a regression channel here, we can see it goes up nicely. It has been bouncing very nicely off the 20 SMA. And just here recently, I think it was Wednesday here, there were, Tuesday there were earnings, Wednesday it bounced off the 20 SMA with some good volume. So this is actually one of my favorites. Of course, you would have to dive deeper into the numbers and look at it with your own optics and your own strategies. You should never rely on a YouTube channel like mine, but this is just for inspiration. Rockwell Automation, ROK, is definitely a good candidate. Then we have NDAQ, NASDAQ Inc. This is an accelerating trend, as you can see here. If we are drawing here, at some point you might say, yes, it is at the top of the channel, but then all of a sudden it accelerates up through the top of the channel, and that often makes me draw a new accelerated trend channel, and this is some very steep trending we are seeing here. It is bouncing nicely off the 20 SMA with some good volume, having a bit of a break for a week or so, but if we are seeing a good green week here with some good volume, the NASDAQ Inc. is definitely a stock you could have a look at. Then we have F5 Networks, FFIV. As you can see, they have been spending most of the time since 1920 and so on in a steep downtrend, but then they started here in September last year to make a new higher bottom. They broke this top and yes, just went up steeply here. Took a dive back here in June, but they are up nicely now. Now, I do like to see steady trends, and this is not a steady trend. It did come out of my screener, so it might go up on the long run here, but I would like to see just some bouncing off the 20 SMA here. I don't like this to be too messy. So I'm a bit picky with my stocks. Then we have Juniper Networks here. They are in a good and steady uptrend here, as we can see, after a lot of messy work since 17-18 here. On a weekly chart, they are going up nicely. Again, had it been down here, I would gladly have taken a trade like that. Look at this one here. Some good bouncing off the 20 SMA with some very good volume. But here lately, it has been crossing both the 20 and the 50 SMA. I know it was a good day here Friday, but I would like to see a bit more consistency in this trend. So I'll just have to wait and see here. Yes, then we are back at Nike, the first stock, and as you can see, we are through all 12 of the stocks. Now, remember, these are just for inspirational purpose and to show you how I'm working with trends. If I chose 1 or 2 or 3 of these, I would dive deeper, both in my own tools here. We have several tools where we can look a lot more closely into the stocks, but I would also use Stockopedia, for instance, to have a look at the stocks. I'll also link to that below if you're interested there. I hope this gave you some inspiration, and again, a warm welcome to the NSB, the new sponsor on this channel. Take care of yourself and your money out there. I'll talk to you again shortly. Bye for now.